Since last so many years, we have seen that the topic of central bank digital currency has been in news, and again it is in news for all the right reasons. The RBI has taken a new step in the line of coming the CBDC into public domain. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the digital rupee pilot project, about which the RBI has recently given a notification. So let us first understand the timeline of the video. First we will be looking at the news, then about what is central bank digital currency, then who can use the retail CBDC, about which we will be talking, then what will the retail digital rupee be, what it will be doing, then how will the retail digital rupee work, what will be the procedure, then what are the other kind of digital rupees apart from the retail digital rupee, then the advantages of the e-rupee, in the end a prelims MCQ. So this topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 3, which is economy. Since last many days or months, we can for sure say that the central bank digital currency or the e-rupee has been so much in news. So you can expect a question in it in mains also and in prelims also. So knowing all these points becomes important, especially the advantages and how it will work and what is CBDC. So let's get started and see the news. And the news has been taken from the Indian Express, and it says digital rupee pilot project launching on December 1. What is it and how will it work? So this news consists of many questions in it. First is the what is it? What is digital rupee? Second is how will the digital rupee work? And now that the RBI is launching a pilot project regarding it. So let us first understand that what it is. So recently what has happened is that the RBI, which is the central bank of our country, that is the Reserve Bank of India, has announced the launch of India's much awaited central bank digital currency. We will be looking into that what is CBDC. So CBDC or digital currency, you can say in very simple terms, is sort of official cryptocurrency. As a nation, India does not have its official cryptocurrency, and we do not even deal into cryptocurrencies. So the retail users, for retail users, the CBDC or the digital rupee will be launched from December 1. So now let's just move into the detail of the news. First, let us look at that what is central bank digital currency. So in simple terms, if we know that what is CBDC, then it is the digital form of paper currency. So now that we deal in fiat currency or we deal in rupees, that whenever we go to a market, we give rupees to the shopkeeper to take something from them. So instead of the paper currency, this CBDC will be in the digital form. So whatever we will be doing in the digital form, and it will be a legal tender which will be issued and backed by a central bank. So one of the major points that we always had, and the problem we had with the cryptocurrencies, was that they do not have a legal backing, while on the other hand the CBDC or the central bank digital currency or the e-rupee will be backed by the central bank. And when it will be backed by the central bank, it means it has certain kind of authenticity and accountability, and there will be that the normal people can also move towards using them because the central bank will be backing it. Then it will be same as fiat currency, as I've told you, and this will be exchangeable 1-to-1 with the fiat currency. So even if someone wants to exchange it for fiat currency, then also the central bank digital currency or CBDC can be exchanged. So important point is it is a digital form, it will be backed by the central bank, legal tender same as fiat currency, and it will be exchangeable also. So all these small points becomes all the more very important, because these are the words that you need to write in your mains answer writing also, and especially in the prelims points also these words are asked. So let us move ahead, and now let us see that who can use the retail CBDC. So there are two type of CBDCs. One is the wholesale, while second is the retail. So for wholesale CBDC, RBI has already taken a step in November of 2022, and now we are moving towards the retail central bank digital currency. So the first phase of the pilot project regarding the retail CBDC, and it will also cover select locations and banks. So in the starting or in the first phase, only selected locations will be taken into consideration, and selected banks will be using these retail CBDC in the first phase. So initially, selected locations and selected banks will only be performing it in a closed user group, while the participating customers and merchants will be there. And in total, in the first phase, initially in the first phase, if only 4 cities will be covered, and that is Mumbai, New Delhi, Bengaluru and Bhubaneswar. So these 4 cities will be taking part in the initial first phase of the pilot project. And the 4 banks which will be involved initially are State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, Yes Bank and IDFC First Bank. So this will be the initial phase of the pilot project, while in the coming days or gradually all the other banks and all the other locations will also be included in it, while the customers and merchants will be able to use the digital rupee. So initially, just to see whether the digital rupee would be working fine or not, so the selected locations and the selected banks will be performing the transactions. Then the service will be extended to the cities. Afterwards, many cities will also be included into the pilot project, as I've told you, and those will be Ahmedabad, Gangtok, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Indore, Kochi, Lucknow, Patna and Shimla. While the number of banks will also be increased from 4 to, like the SBI and ICICI, apart from all those 4 banks, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India, HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank will also join the pilot project. But this will take place gradually and slowly after seeing the results of the initial first phase. Then what will the retail digital rupee be? What it will do? Why is it coming? So the retail digital rupee or the retail digital CBDC, which is central bank digital currency, will be an electronic version of cash. As I've already told you in the starting, that CBDC is exchangeable for cash or fiat currency. So this will be an electronic version of cash. So someone who does not have the money in their pocket but has it in digital format can use this money. Then primarily meant for retail transactions, it means person to person can also use it, because earlier in the wholesale section the CBDC was introduced, but on the retail section people were not able to use it, and after the wholesale section now the CBDC has been introduced for the use of retail payments, and it will potentially be available for use by all, and all means private sector will be included in this, non-financial consumers and businesses. So it means slowly and gradually the RBI is trying to spread the digital rupee into whole of the country, from wholesale market to the retail market. And it will also provide access to safe money for payment and settlement. Safe money because electronic version of this will be provided, digitally everything would be happening, so a record of everything will be kept so that no fraud can be done and black money cannot be circulated into the economy. Then comes the how it will work. How will the retail digital rupee work? What is the procedure for it? So the digital rupee would be in the form of a digital token that represents legal tender. So first a token will be generated. It's not that anyone can do this and anywhere can do this. No, initially a token will be generated for it, and this token will be issued in the same denominations as paper currency and coins. So whatever, like for example, if you have the paper currency rupees 500 or rupees 2000, then in the same form, the same amount will be generated in the digital format, and this will be distributed through intermediaries, that is banks. So what will happen? First, the digital token will be introduced, and this will be same in the denomination as paper currency, and who will distribute these tokens to the normal people or to the retail people? Then these are the intermediaries, and intermediaries are the banks in between, because first the token will be generated, then from the token generation this will be given to the banks who will behave as an intermediary, and from banks this will go to the people. Then users will be able to transact with the e-rupee through a digital wallet. So see, token is generated, intermediaries, it means the token will be given to the banks, then this will take place through a digital wallet which is offered by the participating banks. So all the banks who will be participating in the digital CBDC will have these digital wallets, and which will be stored on mobile phones and devices of people. So first the token will be generated, the token will be given to the intermediaries, which are the banks, then banks will give it in the form of digital wallet, and all the banks which will be participating in the retail CBDC will only be allowed to do that. Then from the digital wallet, the participating banks or the people who have the mobile phones and devices, this will go into the devices. Then the transactions can be both person to person and person to merchants. This is an important point. You should be able to know that in the retail CBDC, what kind of transactions are happening. It means person to person is given. That is, if for example, if you want to make the transaction, then you can also make the transaction to your friend. Then person to merchant also, and payments to merchant can be made using the QR codes, because nowadays if we see whatever payment also we are making, Digital India also, whenever we go to any shop or whenever we are going outside, we see that there are so many QR codes. People are paying nowadays in very heavy amounts and in very heavy numbers through the QR codes. Then e-rupee would offer features of physical cash like trust, safety and settlement finality. See what happens in the starting when these kind of digital things come into the market, then all the people who are not very used to digital things do not find it very prominent, or they are not very used to it, so that they can move towards the digital format. But this because this CBDC will be backed by the central bank, and this backing by the central bank will give the credibility of the CBDC in the public or the governance, because this will generate an accountability, that the CBDC is accountable to someone, is responsible or answerable to someone, and this will hold the trust among the people. Then this can be converted to other forms of money like deposits with the banks. So if someone has the amount in the digital format, then like what we do with cash, that we go and deposit it in the bank, then with the digital currency also one can do the same. So there will not be any issue that whether the person was using or transacting in cash, or now the person will be transacting in the digital format. Then comes the other kind of digital rupee. Important word is other. So there are two broad categories. First is the general purpose, which is the retail, and the second is the wholesale. So on November 1, which is 2022, RBI launched the digital rupee for the wholesale segment, as I've told you in the starting only, to settle secondary market transactions in government securities. This was done for the wholesale segment and restricted access to select financial institutions. So because this was done on the wholesale basis, so this has a restricted access, while now the retail access has been given. So there is a lot of boundaries has been shed, and there is a lot of diversification which has been done, because people to people or person to person transactions can also be made. Then it has the potential to transform that settlement system for financial transactions. Transform is the important word here, because what will happen is the retail CBDC will shed boundaries, because people will be able to use the digital rupee on regular basis. Then this is undertaken by banks in the government securities segments and also in the interbank market and capital market. And this will also make the system more efficient and secure in terms of operational cost, because the printing of cash or the printing of money takes lot of time, energy and also expenses and capital. While things when will be happening in the digital format, then first this will be more secure, because we will have all the data and the backing, and we can like find out or reach to the transactions which are not good or which are fraudulent. So all the backing will be there, all the data will be there, and the use of collateral and liquidity management. So this will make the system more efficient, and this will make the system more transparent also. Then why the pilot launch for the retail e-rupee has been done? So this has been done to test the robustness of the entire process of digital rupee creation and also distribution and retail usage in real time, to see whether things can be done in the real time and in the real spaces at the real time, real space, real speed, whether people will be able to use it or not, and whether the project of digital rupee or the pilot project of digital rupee will actually survive, or will people be able to adapt to it, or people will adapt to it or will reject this. This is what with the launch for the retail e-rupee will check. Then what are the advantages of the CBDC or the e-rupee? This becomes an important slide, because many a times this can be asked, because from knowing about the advantages you can also go into the objectives also. First is the reduction in operational cost. As I've already told you that printing of cash takes so much of time, and printing of currency takes so much of time and also capital and energy, and plus the management part also. Then fostering financial inclusion. If we can increase the digital education of people, then with time gradually the financial inclusion and more people will be coming into the digital criteria, as we are already seeing and witnessing in our country. Second then is bringing resilience, and in the end efficiency and innovation. As I've told you that the transparency and credibility will increase because of the backing of the central bank about the CBDC. This will also increase the efficiency, because the real time transaction will increase. So this was it. In the end, let us look at the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. And this is a UPSC PYQ. This question was asked in 2020. So to know about this question, you will get to know that what is the concept on which the UPSC is asking question and how the UPSC is framing the questions. So with reference to the blockchain technology, consider the following statements. First is it is a public ledger that everyone can inspect, but which no single user controls. Second, the structure and design of blockchain is such that all the data in it are about cryptocurrency only. This is a very I would say interesting statement, because if you will see, then it has all also and it has only also. Read the statement very carefully. You will get to know many things when you will read the statement carefully. Third is applications that depend on basic features of blockchain can be developed without anybody's permission. So this also has an important word, is without anybody's permission. So you have to tell the correct answer, and the codes are 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 1 and 3 only. Try to solve this question. This is a very interesting question, because read the statements very carefully. You will get to know a lot of things. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.